Look at that gorgeous sunset. I had to stop working on the plum cake and capture this first before the sun goes down in a few minutes. And I cannot resist from showing this to you. Anyways, back to the actual video. Let's bake some plum cake. Let's start with caramel. This is half a cup of sugar with a little bit of water. Start with the ratio 1 part sugar to 1/4 part water. Add a few drops of lemon juice and let it boil undisturbed on medium-low till it starts to brown. Do not move away while this is on the stove. Every second is very important, especially once it starts browning. When it starts to look like honey, turn down the heat to low and keep watching it as you stir. Turn off the heat just before the desired color is achieved. As it boils at a higher temperature, it will brown even after the heat is off. Add some melted butter, about a tablespoon should do, and keep stirring. Make sure to keep this warm and stir occasionally till we use this in the cake batter. Otherwise, it needs to be reheated to make it pourable into the batter. If you're an expert and can manage to not burn the caramel, you can go for a slightly deeper color than this, but I will stop it right here for this video considering all levels of audience expertise. The color and flavor of the plum cake depends totally on the caramel, which is what is going to make that cake rich, dark, and adds a deep caramelized flavor and makes a plum cake so delicious. On the other hand, we shall add 4 room temperature eggs. It needs to be room temperature, which is very important. Do not compromise on that. And half a cup of dark brown sugar. And 1.5 teaspoon of freshly ground nutmeg. Yes, we are adding spice to this cake. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 cup of melted butter. This also needs to be at room temperature, and this needs to be beaten until well combined, maybe just over a minute. That looks good. I have sifted and kept aside 2 cups of all-purpose flour with 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'll slowly add this a little bit at a time into the egg sugar mixture and mix it well. That looks good, and let's add the rest of the flour. I'm not going to overmix this. We'll just go on until it looks smooth and well combined. Now the most trickiest part is to get all that caramel mixed into the cake batter without crystallizing it. Warm caramel quickly crystallizes as soon as it hits a cold or even slightly colder than room temperature utensils or fingers. So watch this carefully as I mix it into this. If you think it is tricky this way, you can buy caramel sauce from the store and mix it into the cake. You'll need just about 2 or 3 tablespoons. It will not yield in a darker plum cake. It gives a much milder flavor though. Blending in the last bits of that rich caramel. See how the batter color went a few shades dark already? Looks and smells amazing. Now to this, I'll add 1 cup of chopped dates and 1 cup of chopped cashews. The reason why this is called a plum cake is because raisins, black currants, and prunes were referred to as plums back in the day. We will just go with dates and cashews this time, as I'm going for the flavor from an old city bakery in Hyderabad. Yum! Reminds me of my childhood days. Oh, so good, so delicious. This looks amazing. Look at all those nuts and dates. It made the batter even more richer. I'll transfer this into a greased 9x5 baking tray, level it all up, add a few more cashews on top and bake it for an hour and 15 minutes at 275 Fahrenheit. If you think your oven temperatures are inconsistent, wrap the cake pan with baking strips if you have them, otherwise it is fine. You will have a raised center like this one we are seeing here. After a little over an hour, here is the delicious plum cake that we baked. Let's check if the center is baked through. That came out clean, and I'll let it cool down completely on the rack. The cake is completely cool now. Let's cut into it. Look at that deep color. It smells amazing, especially the hint of nutmeg mixed with vanilla and caramel is magic in the mouth. I go crazy for these flavors. All those yummy dates and cashews we added, that looks gorgeous. I am normally not the type of a person who goes above and beyond in food presentation, but for this special cake, I made a little arrangement with the things that I had at home. The first time I tasted this Christmas plum cake was when I was probably 7 years old. I went to my principal's home. She had this huge flat cake lying on her dining table. She cuts and serves the cake to whoever visits her during Christmas break. I just fell in love with that cake and hooked to those flavors ever since. I'm serving some sparkling cider. If you prefer champagne or desert wine, those go great with this cake as well. I was too excited to make this video and share the recipe with you all. Hope you get to try this cake over the holidays and enjoy the flavors as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays, stay safe, and see you in the next video.